All right, this question is going to get a lot of people triggered.
People are going to get shocked and they're not going to agree.
You should be so grounded in yourself to the point where you can hear anyone else's opinion and not be outraged.
I see a pattern in all females' icks.
People are going to be like, hang on a sec. Maybe he's right. That's why he did so well, because so many people actually needed to hear what he said.
Very controversial. Very controversial.
Oh, he's throwing bombs.
Do you like Andrew Tate?
All right, guys.
Let's go.
We are back in action.
What the fuck is this clapping?
No, I'm
Welcome
excited to be
back
on
to the
another
locker
episode.
room.
Let's go. What do you mean, bro?
This is gonna be a
I'm
good
clapping
one.
for all of us.
Thanks, bro.
Isn't that what the locker room's all about? Being supportive of the brothers.
All right, guys. So very exciting episode today. We have a fun one for you guys.
Very
Something
fun.
a little bit different from what we've done. We're going to be going through a few different scenarios, a few different questions for us all. And we're going to kind of get a little bit deeper into them. We're going to, have some fun, interesting conversations, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we've got in store.
Give us a bit of an example of what questions we'll be asking each other today. Maybe give us one of the most controversial questions, just to.
So,
let the
I
viewers
guess the
understand.
gist of it is they're going to be some what would you rather's. So they're going to give you two options, and you're going to choose one.
Yep.
We're going to read out some icks that women have in men. We can either agree with them or we can, I guess, disagree.
We're also going to be asking each other controversial questions,
Yes.
like controversial things that you guys may have a certain opinion about, and get our realistic and honest thoughts on
Yes.
these certain things. And
gonna be
look,
interesting.
I'm not going to lie, some of the questions are very controversial.
I actually don't even know
Very
the question.
They are
So
so
I'm
good.
reacting
And
live.
I'm very keen to just, go hard. So
You like to go.
I love going hard, especially with you, babe.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right, so
All right,
Kick it
so,
Oh, I'm nervous.
without further ado,
I don't even know what the questions are.
would you rather have a girlfriend who's extremely beautiful or extremely smart? But if she's extremely beautiful, then that means she has to be extremely dumb. And if she's extremely smart,
that's the worst.
she has to be extremely ugly.
Oh my God.
All right?
All right, let's be honest. You need to be attracted to the woman that you're dating. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Straight out, I cannot date a two. I'm just saying, I can't date a two. Okay, I'll give you some context. So
That's fair.
I think that if you're going to date someone that you're not attracted to, then let's be honest, attraction's one of the first things that you notice in a woman. I'm not going to walk down the street and see some, I hate to say it, but ogre and be attracted to her and want to build a future with her, despite all the great values that she might have,
if you're
despite
Shrek?
all the amazing... Shrek's a different story because I've actually watched the movie, but despite everything that she offers, if I'm not attracted to her, then there's no longevity in our relationship because of that attraction.
How about if she's a 1 out of 10, but
Looks-wise.
looks-wise, she's very smart, very intelligent, she helps you with your business, and because she helps you with your business and her business, you make a lot of money, and through money, she makes herself a lot more attractive.
Okay, the thing is, right, your 1 out of 10 might be
Did you call me a 1 out of 10?
You are also a 1 out of 10, yes. But your 1 out of 10 might mean something different to me due to the fact that you have
That's
different
true.
types. Plus,
You do have low standards.
let's also be honest, that personality creates a more attraction.
Here we go.
Creates more of an attraction in a woman as well. So if someone, for example, was, say, a typical 1 out of 10 appearance-wise, their personality could bring them up to maybe a 2 or 3.
Okay, so
He's
you
digging
just
himself-
double dipped.
He's digging himself out of the hole.
I'm
there,
just
bro.
saying, you can.
All right, I get your point, but you know the quote how they say you want to marry someone that you can not go to war with, someone that you can actually partner with and achieve whatever you want to achieve, right? Mm-hmm. If they're completely not capable of any of that, whilst
So you want
they
me to
look
date a
good,
soldier?
you know what I mean though?
You a soldier.
It's almost like they're purely
got
there
me.
for your
You guys
for
do
your
chest
appearance.
hugging.
No, it's just we got to unpack this deeply, right? We're not just going surface level answers. We've got to understand the reasoning behind it. So
James.
let's say, okay, 10 out of 10, but 1 out of 10 in smartness or intellectual understanding. What are they bringing to the table apart from their looks? Is that all that matters to you?
agree.
It depends how you identify what a 1 means.
It is a tough question, yeah. That's why I need to break it down.
What does that
agree.
mean by their personalities like a 1?
Like they're pretty much just a walking flesh with nothing behind.
Okay,
the
but
eyes.
I actually see intrinsic value in every human being.
So the question was unintelligent.
Yeah.
Okay. That does not mean that they have to be a bad personality.
I see beauty in all humans.
Oh, he's digging now out of his hole as well.
I see beauty in everyone.
All right.
I just think that question's a very difficult one.
It is
However,
difficult,
I
it is
also
difficult.
believe that you need both.
All right.
I don't think that for me personally, I would date someone based upon attraction. And by the way, I have in the past, and it hasn't gone very well for me. So
interesting.
I think moving forward, since I'm a new man, a new creation in my 30s, I'm looking for, if you were to even ask me like what my, paramount kind of like quality in a woman would be, one of the two, it would definitely be both, but I think personality
You have
outweighs
to choose
attraction because of the fact that looks
Got a full
do fade.
360, bro. This
So-
guy.
Looks do fade over time.
He said his initial answer, then he saw your good answer, and he's like, "Fuck, I gotta go."
Oh, I
back.
didn't even really answer, but my question.
I didn't answer either.
for
I'm
the
just trying to unpack the question.
for the young lads out there, would you recommend them to go for personality or looks as a higher on the threshold? Forget like the 1 out of 10 thing. I'm talking, let's say, just which ones should be
What's more important?
Yeah.
Oh, personality for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
maybe I'll answer since I have a
Let me-
girlfriend out of the three of us.
Yep.
Fortunately, my girlfriend has both.
Unfortunately.
I know that's
Ideally,
not-
you want that.
I know that's not the question, but I'm fortunate that she has both, so I don't have to choose because she's smart and she's beautiful. But
What a cute guy.
I think the initial answer for a young man would be the initial, without thinking through, would be, oh no, 100%. I can't go out with her too. She's ugly. I'll never find her attractive. I'll never have chemistry with her. All these things. Whilst that is valid, I do also think that the intelligence aspect
Makes it
and
more
having a person who that you like imagine you can never have an intellectual conversation with someone like we both, I'm sure all three of us have at a certain point had an experience with a female that wasn't overly intelligent, and there's no substance.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I hate it.
For one date you could pull through.
the attraction
But
falls apart. Eh?
Well, as
Exactly,
Bailey said,
exactly.
if you're looking for a wife, that's going to be 40, 50, 60 years,
Yeah.
at least, right?
And they're gonna change.
How can you put up with someone who you can't even have a conversation
Yeah.
with?
And when
For
their looks fade,
50 years, correct.
in
And
20 years
that's
down the
what I was
track,
gonna say.
yeah.
Looks fade. I'm not saying I want
Yeah.
to look for an unattractive girl. 100% Jamie had a good point. Yes, you do find attraction. It does build the chemistry. But I just think having an unintelligent girl that you can't have a conversation with ever is a worse outcome.
I think it's a very unrealistic question because I think
It is.
the notion of attraction means you look at someone and you can tell they take care of themselves, which is a really good thing. And yeah, obviously some people are more attractive to others than, maybe the certain pool that they're given or whatever it is. Like some people are attracted to different ethnicities and whatnot. But I just think that like you need to have some level of both. But yes, 100% personality wise is the most important thing. And also personality doesn't just mean like intelligence in general, but
that's what we're talking about though.
it also ties into the value system that they're going to bring to the table when
Yeah.
you have a family and have kids and that sort of thing.
100%. I think we've nailed it. That's why these questions are tricky. Hopefully
They're hard.
Yeah.
They're hard. I think both
There's
are
like no
important.
right or wrong answer for any of them. That's why they're
100%.
interesting that we're going to discuss.
And we're going to all have different views. And whoever's watching as well, you guys don't have to agree with us.
Yeah.
You might agree with us. You might think we're crazy. It's
Yeah.
all part of the fun. All right. Have a
All right,
little
let me
gander.
choose a good one.
I'm nervous.
All right, so here's a good one.
Oh, shit.
Would you date?
He cleared his throat. Oh, no.
All right, so would you date a girl that's the breadwinner?
Shit.
I think our answer gives it away.
Wait, no, but we I feel like we discussed this on another
we have,
episode.
we have.
discussed this, but still.
It's a difficult one because our ego. I don't. As much as you'd want to say no, like just off the bat, you'd want to say no.
Exactly.
That's my initial response because
all these questions.
it might be my own ego, and maybe that's not the right way to
Very
look at it.
self-reflective of you.
But it's hard to say that not that you would not want to, but I think it would be not a preference. I wouldn't necessarily go out looking for a woman that is the breadwinner. That's not the mindset.
Wouldn't be
but
your
I
first
think-
choice.
Yeah.
I think, it would be not my... Like we discussed in the other episode, obviously if you're in a partnership and a marriage for a long time, it's going to fluctuate. If you're an entrepreneur and you're worth 10 mil and then the economy flips and then you're worth 500K and then all of a sudden your partner's in another industry where she's making more money, what, are you going to drop them on the spot? So it's a tricky one, but initial response, I would say I wouldn't go looking for a woman that's the breadwinner.
Ideally, right?
I think these questions provoke an initial response as a young man. I think a lot of them, you want to blurt out.
They hit a switch.
Yeah, the first thing that
They
comes to
trigger
mind,
us on some deeper level.
It does. You just want to go, no way, I would never do that. And then you go, hang on a sec, just calm down, have a rational thought.
And analyze it a bit.
I think Bayley, I guess, summed it up quite well. I wouldn't go out of my way as well to look for a breadwinner. It's not like one of my green flags. Breadwinner, sold. But
do you reckon some guys are out there?
I know
100%.
I know a guy.
Gamers especially.
I know a guy I've spoken to, and his wife is predominantly the breadwinner, and he's such a beta. Like, he's like, yeah, like I can't wait to just go home and look after the kids.
But do you reckon he was looking for that, or that's just the way it was?
I reckon,
and he was like, I'm happy with
some
it.
guys
He
do that.
seems like a guy that was like, yeah, she's rich, I can just do nothing.
Interesting.
Okay, despite whoever's the breadwinner, do you actually think that a woman would respect the man if she was the breadwinner? Underlyingly, like let's say, hypothetically speaking, for whatever reason the guy isn't the breadwinner, but the girl is. Do you think even though the circumstances might fit them on paper, do you think the woman that is dating this guy will respect him?
I think there's gonna always be an element of like less respect towards the man. I think an element. I'm not saying she doesn't respect the man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think like even if you never like within 70 years of marriage you'll never say it to him, but like there's an inkling at the back of the head where she's like, you're a bitch.
Yeah. I think it's not necessarily
But it's not the be or end all.
I think it's not necessarily the breadwinner part. I think it's the motivation and drive part. Like I
Correct.
think that's where it comes
Yeah,
from. It's
correct.
if you're in the relationship and you're as the man and you're not the breadwinner and you're not motivated at all, you just want to sit and play video
100%.
games and do nothing with your life and not exercise.
100%.
I think that's where the respect is lost. But if you're out there trying to, you're trying to start businesses, you're looking for jobs, you're actively stepping into that role and you're not trying to sit back and let it and write it, but you're actually trying to take part, whether you want to take on the family and play that side of the role, like looking after kids. If you're striving towards something, I think the respect can stay 100%.
Okay, so what
that's
about
how
this
I
then?
look at it.
What about this then? What if the male, for some reason, during the relationship or the marriage, hypothetically speaking, got into a car crash and became, wheelchair bound for the rest of his life? Do you think in that case, having the woman become the breadwinner for that purpose would make her disrespect the guy that unfortunately is in that situation?
I think even less in that scenario because he's genuinely got a reason as to why he can't be the breadwinner, and there's almost like a emotional, empathetic reason for her to be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
She feels like, all right, it's my duty to take care of him. I think the whole respect factor goes out the window because it's not about respect anymore. It's just about like situation. It's just about, all right, this is the cards we've dealt with. It is what it is. I love him. He'd do the same for me. And it's not about respect.
And guys, this is why in all these episodes we go on about analyzing the people that you date early, because I think if you become the right person and you're analyzing the person you're dating in a respectable way and you actually aim to building a lifelong relationship, no matter what happens, if you do get into a major car crash, if you've dated and married the right woman who you have that mutual agreement and you're in this for life, that shouldn't change anything. But I think to all the young lads out there who chase someone, shallow things based on looks potentially, or if that connection isn't deep, then that's where you're going to get in the situation where that happens and then your woman doesn't respect you and should be gone.
And don't forget that a woman that only focuses on her physical appearance will also be shallow in nature. So that means that just because she's dating you, for example,
bombs.
because she's dating you, for example, that means she'll also be the first to leave for someone else better looking than you.
Not
Because
always the case, but it is, you're right.
I'm saying
does
it's more often than not
more likely.
because that's the only value
That's where
she
her
carries.
value is.
Correct. Whereas if you find a girl that obviously has both to some degree, definitely personality, intelligence, values is the main driver for all of us. And as a cherry on top, she takes care of herself. She looks nice as well. That's perfect.
Bang, smashed it. All right, let's go next one.
Yeah, Bailey.
Keep it ticking.
Have a little read.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Ooh, the deep breath
Yeah, oh shit.
and the leg twitch.
All right, this is the juicy one. Would you rather be able to see the complete past or complete future of any living thing or object you touch?
Oh.
But what do you mean
Can
by
we-
object?
So
Yeah, let's break it down.
So I'm guessing the question means, for example, if I was to touch you,
Would you
I
have?
could choose to see your complete future or your complete past. Any family member Or you could even go into like, I touch an iPhone and I know the complete future of iPhone technology.
So you have to
for
choose
example.
past or future.
Past or
for
future.
everything.
So you could, for example, use it for a business idea for the future. You know, or say you have a partner and you want to know before what she's done in her past, or you want to see a family member how they're gonna die. Like any of these things, like these are some ideas.
Yeah, I'd say past for sure.
Because
past
for what though?
So say for example in relationships, past behavior always dictates future behavior as well.
So you're saying you would use it for a past?
I would use it for
You go touch your future girlfriend
on the shoulder.
Okay, so you don't want to know what happens in the future.
I just think that like that's up to God, you know. I think that past. I think that like knowing someone's past is important because it kind of like shows you how they've molded into a person, whatever the traumas they've been through, whatever experiences, you know.
Yeah, but
positive
imagine
and
you
negative.
sorry to cut you off, but imagine you could see the future. Then you don't have to guess. You don't have to assume their past behavior dictating the future behavior. You already know.
Yeah, but what's the life of knowing everything that's going to happen?
I agree.
It's almost like saying that, oh, I'm gonna win $10 million tomorrow and my life's done. Like there's nothing else for me. It's like I actually like the unknown of the future.
Ooh,
that
that's
actually
good.
drives
I
me
like that.
because why would we do what we do in general? Like it's because we want to create a future that we see as fit in our idealistic mind. Whereas if we knew what was going to happen and it didn't happen, it's almost like, well, what's the point of living?
I agree.
Interesting.
I think if we're choosing a person, I'd like to know their past, because as Jamie said, you can see what mistakes have been made, anything you need to know, and then kind of grow with that and use it for the future. I think if you find out the future of someone, it's too much information and that burden is too much to bear. I also think it's up to God. Leaving it to God is in God's hands.
Cool.
But for an item, I think you could be quite lucrative because, you could touch something and, AI. I don't know how you touch an AI application or something, or I don't know. You see the future of a business opportunity, and then you can capitalize.
That's what I'm looking at. Is like
I think that
you can see. Imagine the doors that can open. Like exactly, business opportunities. Imagine you could see the future of Sydney City or like in a certain city and see. All right, is this going to be a good place to live in the future?
But how could you touch Sydney?
I don't know. Is that part of the rules? Like, can I like?
No,
or do I have to be able to touch?
Just touch the Harbour Bridge, bro.
You know what I mean?
You'll be fine.
I don't know. That's the way I'm looking
touch
at
the
it.
Harbour
I'm
Bridge.
looking at it as purely you can see the past and see the future of anything.
I think it's hard to
interesting.
kind of like compare based upon different categories.
Yeah, it is. All right, cool. Next one.
All right, guys. So my question is, stop touching me, bro.
Getting you G'd.
The question's over. You're not going to see my past. All right, guys. My question is, would you rather snitch on the boys or cheat on your girlfriend?
Wow.
And when I say cheat on the boys, when I say snitch on the boys, that the consequences of you snitching on the boys is they're in jail for 10 years or they die.
Oh my
Wait. Or they die or it's one or the other?
One or the other.
Oh.
And what's the other option?
And the other option is you cheat on your girlfriend.
Well, I don't have one, so I think that's all right.
Yeah, me neither.
Or are we talking about future? We have one.
Future, bro, not your imaginary fucking.
So
girlfriend.
either we take a bullet for our mate, basically, like
Pretty
ruin
much.
your own relationship for your mate,
Ruin
or
your-
but the thing is, what they've done is self-inflicted. So it's whether you intervene.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? So because they've done the action, it's
but
whether
it's
you
your
want to
best
intervene
friend.
or not.
It's your best friend.
I'm
your
just trying to
boy
break it
from
down.
Since childhood.
I know.
Like you boys, like your mum calls him son. Do you know what I mean? Or your girlfriend, that's your ride or die, your queen, the girl you're gonna marry.
That is the toughest question.
Bailey's
ever.
thinking to himself, if I say the cheating, I'm not going to get any girls from this podcast at all.
Well, I've got a girlfriend, so I think.
All right, so what do you do?
I think I'm in a harder situation than you guys. Imaginary girlfriends over here. If I have one, maybe.
Yeah, I might never get one, so that's fine.
That's true. Yeah.
I might just have to run it up.
Someone's like,
Because
but what if?
But are we allowed to tell? Are we allowed to tell our girlfriend why we did it? Like it was to save his life, or are they never allowed to know? She just has to.
I don't think she's listening.
She just has to leave. Like she's done.
I think she's listening.
all right, I'm going to go first. Sorry, Chris, you're going to jail.
Yeah, I'd have to snitch. It's their own self-inflicted actions. They're probably going to get found out anyway.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't involved in the situation, so it's brutal. But it's like
All the boys watching this.
Take responsibility.
Bailey's a
Cancel.
cuck.
He's a cock. Yeah, literally.
Nah, I can't talk.
No,
I can't
Yeah,
talk.
what?
It's
I can't talk. So I'm gonna take the cheesy answer too, bro. At the end of the day, like Bailey haven't made a good point. If if they've made a self-inflicting situation that they now have to deal with the consequences, I don't think it's fair for that to ruin my relationship that I've worked so hard on.
Agree.
Also, I'd never cheat on my girlfriend or my future wife, which is my girlfriend. So it is a tough question. It is very tough because I love the boys. Like, they are my family. But I think, to be honest, I think the boys would understand, but I think the boys would not understand.
I think they would.
Obviously, you have to be accountable for your own actions, and that even ties back into what we always talk about, where you need to, be upfront with your friends and tell them if they're doing something that's not right.
I think a true friend, like, would obviously, like, I would make an effort to try to help my friend at any state, but I think a true friend would know, like, all right, I can't expect him to throw his whole life away because I threw my life away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a true friend wouldn't expect that of you.
Because, bro, if you were like,
as hard as that is,
But he would also expect you not to snitch.
exactly.
Yeah, I know.
So
but if you were intending on smuggling drugs, for example, I would advise you out of it. But if you did it, like, against my own will, and your advice,
it's not your
then that's
problem.
your fault completely.
Yeah.
So as
Cool.
you say, Chris, like, why would you ruin a relationship if your mate knows the consequences and still obviously acts upon it?
Right.
All right, next question.
Oh, these are good, bro. I'm enjoying this.
yes.
All right, this question is going to get a lot of people triggered. A lot. Mm-hmm. And by a lot, I mean like half
I'm
the
ready
world.
for it.
At least half the world.
ready.
If not 70% of the world will get triggered by this question.
We get triggered?
I think I know what it is.
No, you guys won't get triggered, but most people out there will get triggered by this question.
Interesting. Let's go. Run it up.
Just to preface, yes, I'm just going to ask a question. All right, so the question is, do you like Andrew Tate?
Oh, that's not that bad.
Oh, well, I think it is.
It is
bro.
controversial.
To a lot of people, it is, but I'm not saying the question's that bad, but the responses may be bad.
Okay.
Depending on what we say.
I
And
think-
let's be honest.
I think we're going to actually,
Let's be honest.
from knowing you guys, I think we're going to have similar answers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'll let-
potentially.
I'll let-
All right,
I'll
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna explain. I like anyone who's gone to the top of anything. Whilst obviously a lot of things that he say are controversial, and we don't agree with everything he says. Obviously, the stuff that's directed at men, I agree with. It's like taking accountability. Obviously, we announced in the first episode we don't agree with like the things that are directed in relation to girls, but to get to the top of the social media world and his business endeavors are questionable, but he's also made a lot of money and done well for himself. I feel like I can learn a lot from him. That's why I respect what he's done and I like him. And to be honest, personally, he's actually helped me a lot. I found Andrew Tate at the exact moment where just after I went through a breakup. So I think the advice that he gave to me is in like, take accountability. It's all your fault. No one's coming to save you. Become a better man of it and use that as motivation and inspiration to become a better man. That honestly resonated with me so much that it pushed me in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's why I think I like him, because he actually positively influenced me in a time where I needed to hear it. I was, after a breakup, you're going through a bit of a, ups and downs, and then he comes along and he's like, just puts it on you. He just puts it on you. And I was like, that's exactly what I need to hear in this moment. So that's why I, have a positive connection to him, because he helped me in a certain scenario. Whilst there's a lot of things that he says where I'm like, yo, that's whack. But that's, I think, why I do like him.
So I think by no means do I agree with everything Andrew Tate says. Obviously, he says some stuff, predominantly towards women, which I think could be quite damaging, could be, seen as hurtful and wrong.
100%.
However, I think just in the small, lane of his motivation for young men to, as you said, pull their finger out, stop feeling sorry for yourself. We do have a lot softer generation of men coming up, because I think, back in the day, men used to go to war, used to do X, Y, and Z, and they were much tougher. And so I think him trying to encourage young men to be men, and be that man that every man wants to be, or every woman wants you to be, and take charge. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Be something for yourself. Be a high level person, a high level man for yourself and for your partner.
I love that.
I think there's definitely some merit in that.
Yeah, and that actually happened to me. Like, I was
there you
probably
go.
a lot more of a cuck before I started listening to him.
Still
like,
are.
looking back, you're like,
Yeah.
man, was I really like that?
Oh, you still are?
Yeah, you
And
still
then-
got a long way, but
Yeah, got a very long way.
I'm
Don't
kidding.
we all?
I'm kidding. We all do. We
Yeah.
all do. We're nowhere near perfect.
But yeah, I resonate with that as well.
But yeah, I do think some of his values are definitely helpful.
100%.
But yeah, that's
Jamie, what do you reckon?
my opinion.
Look, in all honesty, you guys may have thought something different, but yeah, I really do like Andrew Tate. Genuinely. In fact, me and Bayley went through a similar, you could call it transition, not in the way you're thinking, but from sort of like getting out of, a hard situation in our lives to then obviously moving forward through it. And I think Andrew Tate for me really, really helped facilitate that. And I'll tell you why. It's because I think he's the only person out there in this point in time that just tells the truth, blunt and
not
hard,
afraid to say
how
what
it
he,
is.
what he wants to say.
Exactly. Many people that just speak their truth and just go bold and hard in whatever they believe in is someone that I admire. Not all, but many.
And they get a lot of friction.
Of course, yeah. So it's one of those people. He's one of those people that like you either love or hate.
Yeah.
So I personally, I'm on the love side because he's really helped me through a time in my life where I just needed to grow up, be a man, stop being emotional, start actually taking responsibility for things I'm doing in my life, and just move forward. And honestly, to this day, I think I discovered Andrew Tate 2 years ago, and I still implement what he's taught me.
Some of his values.
Yeah, in my life today. So he's been an absolute blessing for us.
I think what to your point, I think it's in this current world, it's much easier to kind of conform and just, go with the flow, be essentially a sheep and just kind of, not so much say how you exactly feel because you don't want to upset people. So you kind of just say what the general public, you go with the same direction as the general public.
Yeah, which is always changing.
Which exactly. And so
Like
someone
many
like
other things
Andrew
that change.
Tate, of course, when he's so direct in his values and what he thinks, is going to get a lot of backlash. People are going to be like, hang on a sec, what the hell? He's not just agreeing with everyone. He's saying actually the complete opposite for a lot of things. People are going to get shocked and they're not going to agree. But he goes through a period of, hang on a sec, what the hell is he saying to? Wait a sec, maybe he is right. Actually, he has some good points. And then people, that's why he did so well, because so many people actually were needed to hear what he said.
Some of the best advice I think I have for a lot of people is you should be so grounded in yourself to the point where you can hear anyone else's opinion and not be triggered and not be outraged, even if it's the total opposite of yours. Even surrounding yourself with people that have a different perspective is good for you. Because if you're always around people, even for us, we have a lot of the same values, but it's also good for us to be around people that think differently because it makes you question what you actually believe and question where your morals are at. And if you have no one ever question you or tell you, what about this? What about this? Oh, you're wrong on that.
Yeah.
Then you never have to question it. So I think if you can be in the position where you're so grounded in yourself and also open-minded to the point where you can hear other people's perspectives, take it on board, see where they're coming from, you will be in a much better position. If you're always the person where you hear something that goes against your opinion or your moral compass, you get outraged and you're like, no, like you want to cancel them and go outraged. I think that's a very unfruitful way to live. So that's my advice for people. You should be able to have someone spray you that has the total opposite opinion and be like, I see your point. I agree with you on these three things, but also I don't agree with you on this,
phased.
and it not affect your whole day and your whole life. So that's some strong advice that I would recommend for people out there.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you have to also ask yourself the question, like, why has the media and why has society come so hard negatively against Andrew Tate? And I think as we can see in this day and age, especially for the guys watching this podcast, the world is becoming somewhat more degenerate. Men are losing their masculinity. There's a massive movement in many ways trying to weaken men through things like, promiscuity, porn, even I'm sorry to say this, but the rise in feminism, in my opinion, has contributed to that as well. And so when the media targets someone of influence that's inspiring so many young men to actually get off their ass, stop playing video games, get a job, create the high value man that they want to be in their life to attract an ideal partner. I'm not saying, you've got to care about the materialism such as the fame, money, followers, cars, all that sort of stuff. But I'm saying men really do have to create a version of themselves that can sustain the responsibility that men have had since the dawn of time. So Andrew Tate, through some of his things, what he says, and I think he's actually almost like a marketing genius doing this, where he knows exactly what he's doing by triggering these women in terms of the comments like women can't drive or women belong in the kitchen. But I think he may do that to get the attention of the other side, which is men need to be strong and actually implement these good values that men should all carry. I think a lot of the time as well, we don't actually understand why we get triggered by things. And it's always important, as you just said, Bayley, to ask yourself the question, like, why do I actually believe this? Am I just believing Andrew Tate's a horrible person because the media have told me he is and the media have said that he said this once? But looking at it in context, and in its entirety, you can actually see that the message he's bringing forward to young men, for the most part, is good. Be strong, work hard and protect your family.
Agree.
Awesome, man. Good sum up.
And now's the perfect time to introduce the sponsor of the video. As you can see, or if you're listening, we're in one of the most beautiful apartments in Sydney overlooking the harbour. Brought to you by Getaways. There'll be a link in our descriptions on all platforms to check out their apartments. They've got beautiful ones all over Sydney. We actually filmed in a different one last week, but yeah, there's multiple different ones. I'm sure you'll see different ones over the coming weeks. Check them out. They're all absolutely beautiful. So yeah, appreciate Getaways, and thank you for letting us host our podcast in here. Back to the questions. What's the next one?
All right, guys. So we're going to change it up now. I'm going to read through some icks that women have for men. And we're going to see if we align with them or we think they're crazy. And for the people that don't know what an ick is at home, it's essentially something that absolutely 100% turns you off or just makes you go...
There's some crazy ones out there. I see those videos of where the guy made the list. I think we spoke about that.
Yeah.
There's like hundreds and hundreds. Some of the ones that you hear
like
online are ridiculous.
And apparently one of them's a deal breaker.
I'm keen to hear these actually.
All right. So when he tests ice cream with those baby tester spoons and can't figure out where to put it after.
Yeah, but...
Bro, that's actually
so
he's just tasted it. Vanilla. And then he's gone... And there's a massive line behind you.
He's just walking around like...
Yeah, he's looking around and he's holding it.
Where do I put this?
Do you know what though?
That's savage, bro.
I see a pattern in all females' icks.
What?
I see a
He's
very
cracked the code.
generic...
He's cracked the code. Oh, boys, settle in.
I see a very generic pattern. Bro, haven't you noticed that every single ick you see online relates to a guy not knowing what to do?
Ooh.
There's some tonality of the guy... Whether it's running for the bus, whether
that's
it's
actually a fair...
the spoon, not knowing where to throw it out, whether it's what else. I'm sure like all the ones that you're about to say.
It's the no confidence.
It's the no confidence and it's about questioning what you're doing and not being able to do it properly.
That's a good point.
I think that's
I'm
because
reading through them and that aligns with what I'm reading.
It's a pattern, and it's I think because women inherently, whether they like it or not, whether they're the biggest feminists in the world or not, they still always want a guy that knows what he's doing and is confident in leading the relationship. And
the man's dropping bombs, bro.
That's valid, bro. That's awesome.
I'm interested to hear if the other ones line up with that.
Yeah, so ready? Another ick is chasing a ping pong ball is just never okay for anyone.
Once again.
When it's bouncing and
you try to grab it, it slips out and you miss it. That's actually fair. You look like it's complete.
You're catching the air. Yeah.
That's full cuck material.
That's full cuck material. Don't ever do that.
Okay.
I actually play ping pong.
But okay, how about this, right? How about this? If you're a guy and you get invited to play ping pong, actually, I'll give you a personal story. So,
he's like a friend of mine.
No,
I actually did this.
Actually, you might have.
It was you.
No, you were there when this happened. Okay, so I'm the sort of guy that if I am trying something new, whether it's a card game or whether it's playing ping pong or playing tennis or badminton, whatever it is, I always try my best to firstly do my best at it. But then also, if I don't do a good job, then learn how to do a good job in it. I don't know if you remember, Bayley. I think this was early last year. You, me, and the church congregation went to Harvin's old house. And we were playing a game called... That card game. What was it?
51?
No.
What card game? Oh, yeah. I know the card game.
Something Blitz.
I don't know.
Something Blitz.
I don't remember what it's called, but yeah.
So it was a card game essentially where you had to think about like 5 things at once, and then it was for me, I found it very difficult.
Anyway.
And so the point of what I'm trying to say is that although I did find it difficult, I wanted to improve to the point where by me being shit at the whole game, I was actually embarrassed. Because as a man, I think it's inherent. We always want to feel like we know what to do in every situation, right? And the fact that I was the worst, and I'm going to be honest with you, even out of the girls, was, I felt awkward about it. So
what are you saying? Girls,
basically, no.
Girls can't be bad?
No. What I'm saying is this. I think related to what I said before, I think guys always have that sort of like inclination of wanting to be good at things that we do, right? Whatever it is. But my question is related to that story. If you knew you were bad at ping pong, right, and you couldn't catch the ball to save your life, would you either participate knowing that you'd be embarrassed by it, or would you just avoid it completely?
Good question.
I'd play.
So depends on if it's in public or by myself. I like going to anything I do, knowing that I'm usually good at it.
Of course.
I'm talking these sports usually like.
But you're not good at every sport.
That's why I don't play every sport.
So
like,
if you the boys want to link up, play some tennis,
So-
you suck at tennis,
so-
you won't play.
I don't suck at tennis.
Well,
But if I did, so for example,
if you did.
so for example, some of my
Okay, so what do you suck at?
So for example, like
Netball.
I'm not great at basketball. I played when I was very young, and I'm not very good. Soccer and basketball are very different sports, obviously, but it's completely, one's fast paced, one's slower, and it's more tactical, right? A lot of boys ask me that know I'm good at soccer, that come to watch me play soccer. They ask me, come play basketball, just fill in. It's like a shit team, just fill in. I won't do it because they know me for a standard.
Right.
So if I go play and I'm absolutely terrible at it, I'm gonna feel shit. I'm gonna feel terrible, and I'm gonna feel like I let them down almost, or let myself down because I have an expectation.
Fair. I do think we're always gravitated towards things that we are good at naturally. Like even
Yeah,
when
of
you're young, you
course.
always end up doing the thing that you. Because if you're just always bad at something constantly, you don't want to necessarily
Okay.
play. But before you go, I'm gonna say I'm also different in the fact that I like to, if I know I'm bad at something, I'll like to get good quickly.
Same. But
Yep,
I do it
yep.
behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So
Right,
they won't know, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fucking practicing.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm like that as
practicing.
well, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
practicing. Next time they ask me, yeah, I'll give it a crack.
I'll be the worst in the team,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
whatever. What do I have to lose?
Yeah,
Next minute
yeah.
he's
Put
chucking
50
dunks
put
and
50 on
smashing
it.
threes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
fair. I rate that.
Okay, so what I tend to do is
Oh, here we go. You're gonna expose yourself.
No. So there was one or two occasions I can remember in my own life where this happened, and there's many actually, but this is how I sort of approach it. So the first one was that card game. So I actually intended on practicing myself behind closed doors to then come back and actually be a gun at it and beat you.
You wouldn't.
The second thing was, I remember, bro, I'll be honest with you, for some reason, because I played soccer as a kid, I could never throw properly. So you'd see me throw like an absolute bitch. So what I did was with my friends.
Yeah, you do. Even
Never
just,
seen me
even
throw,
just that
bro.
movement there, that was,
Whatever.
that was so zesty.
All right.
What was that?
Oh, bro, I definitely looked zesty doing it. So I wanted to make sure I didn't. So I actually practiced a lot. The third thing was, there was one time I was working in my
didn't work.
office. I wasn't trying, bro. There was one time I was sitting in my
Wait,
office.
can you show us the throw technique?
No. Girls are watching. There was one time I was in my office and the fire alarm went off, right? And I had to run down 20 flights of stairs. And for some reason, I started wigging out halfway. And I couldn't like run down them properly. So for the next week, I literally, whenever I had to go down to the ground floor,
practiced running
running down the stairs and not wigging myself out.
I don't
This
know.
is your OCD.
Yeah, that's
kicking up.
OCD.
No, but this is just me wanting to actually do good in things. Now, back to the point that we're
Stairs.
talking about.
How old were you? 25?
It was last year.
It's not a skill to learn at 25.
Back to the point we were talking
What
about,
the
right?
fuck?
I have no problem being shit at something in front of the boys.
Okay.
Walking
I'm
up the
alright.
stairs.
Bro, we've moved on from that topic. I got no problem with that for the most part. However, I will never, ever, ever over my dead body be intentionally shit at something or know I'll be shit at something in front of a girl.
Okay.
I just can't do it.
I will add something to that. However, something that me and you would do is if we were, not that we are, but if we were, say, not great at something, we'd make a complete joke out of it.
Yes.
To kind of mask the fact that we're not great at it.
Yeah.
And then it'll kind of like it'll take substance out of that. And then they'll be like, oh, no.
So it's like, it looks like you're just taking the piss.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, you have to do that for your mates.
Yeah.
You have to do that. Like literally, you have to do that.
What?
Even I don't know what situations we've been in, but I know that we've been in many situations where, like for example, I've been shit at something, and then I was gonna say taking the load. You've taken almost like you've made a joke out of it, so it's not actually real.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like I'm
Same
on
idea.
purpose.
Same idea.
Yeah, it's like I'm on purpose being shit at something.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
actually am.
That's if your boys do that for you, that's respect. You
Yeah.
gotta keep
That's
them,
what the
you gotta
boys-
keep them locked.
That's
Watching this
what I do,
podcast
man.
need to do for everyone. Their boys.
All right,
I read
guys,
that.
let's move on to the next
Yeah.
one. Walking back after your turn in bowling.
What?
After what? Oh,
Walking back after your turn in bowling.
I've seen that.
It's such a like awkward like. Do you like?
Get out your phone.
Do you celebrate? Do you walk back like a scarf?
Do you do the this or like?
Do you pop a dance
do you,
move?
do you get your phone out like you know what I mean? It's so
Depends how
awkward.
good the bowl was.
But bro,
I
it's
reckon.
usually a 5-meter walk, 10-meter walk
Okay,
at least.
It's like you're on a runway, like a catwalk.
Say, give me a quick answer. If you were to get a strike and get them all down, or if you miss completely.
Wait, so are we saying that's an ick?
No, yeah, that is an ick. But what would
So how do you not walk back? Like
I don't
how
know.
do you not
Walk-
make
walk
it an
backwards.
ick?
walk backwards?
I feel like that's just worse.
I just feel like someone's calling me and I just leave.
Nah, you just got to own it. Like, especially if it's
What
a
do you
good
mean
shot.
own it though? That's
If
what
it's
I'm
a good
saying.
shot, you
Say
own
you got a
it.
strike. How do you own it, Bailey?
You just walk
No,
as if
tell
nothing
me.
happened.
Tell me how you do it.
You just act as if
Are
nothing
you
happened.
more shoulders? More shoulder? Or you do the like blase?
I'm like, it's just standard.
did that happen?
Just
Yeah,
another
yeah,
day.
yeah. You're like, what? Me? That strike?
Hey,
Yeah,
so,
what?
it's just another day, bang.
Yeah, I think that's all right.
And then if it's a
you look
complete
cocky.
miss, then be like, I'm just letting you guys catch up.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't mind.
I know
that.
that's what I'll do, but I think you're screwed either way. If you're walking
Yeah.
back from the bowling alley,
Yeah.
you're done.
I have an interesting point to make. So I've been doing a lot of research on
Oh shit.
what?
Sorry, there's some good ones in here.
No. I've actually been sort of more aware of body posture, right? And so what I've noticed is there's
As he's
a
got
big
his
difference.
fucking legs
There's
out.
a big difference between looking eye level or above and looking down to the ground. So what you'll notice is
Confidence.
there's many times where, say for example, you score a goal in soccer, right? You'll see often at times players either celebrate or they'll look to the ground like nothing's happened.
I'll celebrate.
Sure. But so why they do that is for many different reasons. However, it's statistically known that if you're, for example, like walking past a female or anyone in general, and you look down, that instantly symbolizes that you feel threatened and that you're not confident.
Really?
Because
That's
look,
interesting.
If you keep your eye line up and you don't maybe look
That's
at the
fair.
person you're walking back to in bowling, whatever, or you just look somewhere else, it gives the illusion of a sense of confidence.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So what you're saying essentially, you score the strike and you walk back and you're like staring. What?
No.
Yeah. What?
I'm not saying look at them in the eye.
No,
I'm
that's a
just
good
saying,
tip, though. I think that's
like
that's
that.
interesting. I haven't heard that.
I'm just saying, if you walk past someone, right, you're walking and you look down, what does that symbolize? You're scared of them.
So every person you just gotta
Just don't like
stare at them.
don't no. I'm not saying stare at the person. I'm saying don't look down, but look across if you need.
Yeah, look
about
in,
up?
Even in
look
communi-
flat.
I'm sure up's better than down.
Just look flat.
Just
or
look
like
flat.
at eye level.
Eye level, but look around because if you don't, then that's going to show
I
that
think
you're
it's
essentially
valid.
weak.
That's good. I'm going to
Yeah, it's
implement
valid,
that.
yeah.
Nice. All right,
So
all
for
right,
the guys out
next
there,
one.
that's a tip for you.
When he sings the wrong lyrics so confidently and thinks it's right.
Yep, 100%.
All right, that's some Jamie and his karaoke jams.
No, but I actually know that. Oh, actually, no, I'm pretty shit sometimes. Yeah, once again, I'll make my point later, but yeah, I think that's valid. That's valid.
All right, cool. Next one.
When he jumbles his words and says, "Blah, I can't talk today."
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
that's fair. That's
100%,
fair.
that's fair, that's
I'll
fair.
rate that one.
Yeah,
I've probably done that though. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
admit.
think I definitely
we've
do a
all
lot.
done
We've
that.
probably
Yeah.
all done that on the podcast.
all the
actually.
time.
All right. Wait. When they push a pool door,
Wait.
When they
Read it
push
again.
a pool door.
when they push a door that says
Oh, and they
pool,
go walking into the door and they like headbutt it and like start tripping over.
Yeah, if they don't figure it out within 1 millisecond, 100%.
I mean, these are harsh, man. Like, you girls are savage.
But
out
you know
there.
what you could do, right?
girls
If you
are
push the
savage.
door that says pull and you get it in a millisecond, you can pretend like you're doing just some jerk to get it open. Not that you were trying to push it instead of pull it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still
depends
bad.
how
Still bad.
confidently
No,
you
it's like
push
it's like a dumbbell row. Oh, sorry, babe. I was at the gym still.
Yeah, I mean, you could play it off well. That's your
Yeah,
character.
sure, man.
It's worked in the past.
All right, him walking angry in flip flops. You know you can't walk.
Wait,
You know you can't walk. And it makes that little wet sound,
the squelch.
little squeak.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
that actually triggers me.
That triggers me as
Being
well.
assuming you sit around the pool,
I've
like
seen
you're,
that.
people wear
I've
flip
tried
flops
to
at the
storm off. I've tried to storm off. It's just sound. It looks so bad.
at the pool, or you wear flip flops at the beach, or if they're in Crocs squelching,
Oh,
bro.
Crocs.
That's
Yeah.
If you wear Crocs out there and you're squelching, game over.
You go from
you're
alpha
done.
to
You're
just
done.
like pleb.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not it.
Agreed.
Oh, this is good. This is so. I've seen this in person. When he asks a retail worker for help and they don't hear him,
Or the waiter. Same thing, right?
excuse me, and they just keep walking.
I reckon the waiter's the
if
worst.
you're on a date,
I reckon the waiter's
bro,
the
the waiter.
worst.
If
Yeah.
you're on a date and you go, "Excuse me, can I get the wine menu?"
And she keeps walking
She
past.
keeps walking, and the chick's like,
And then you raise your hand, but then you pretend like you're scratching your head.
Nah, you're done. Wait, can you reenact it?
The hair
Reenact
scratch.
it.
The hair scratch. No,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. That's good.
Bro,
That's good.
every time.
Especially when they're close and they're walking
No,
right
Jamie
past the
does
table.
Jamie does that. Ah.
Yeah, I make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
How would you play that off?
Again, this stuff comes
Give us
back to
some-
what I said. We in any of these scenarios, what we would do is just make the joke out of it. And I'm not saying completely un-ix it,
Yeah.
but it definitely
saves
makes much more of a less awkward
So
situation.
how would you save it? I want to see how you would do it. Do it live.
All right, so
I can do Jamie.
I need to learn, bro.
This is Jamie. Wait,
look-
let me do it and then you do it.
All right.
This is Jamie. Excuse me, can I get the wine menu? Keeps walking.
He does do that, eh?
Yeah.
He does this. He goes, oh, okay. And then she'll be like, and then
I want to see that. I want to see it.
Anyway.
This kind of ties back into what we spoke about on a previous episode about how you can use comedy to save yourself from awkward situations. But yeah, I'd basically just do like this, and I'm like, I look around it, but intentionally.
That was exactly what you
But
did.
intentionally, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, but I'd
he does the-
emphasize.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't try. The problem is if you
just
try and
own it.
hide what you've done, it creates
Makes it
awkwardness.
worse. So you just got to own it.
Just own it. Be
And
like,
then he'll mumble a bit. He'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
and then I'll say,
That's a
I
hard
can't
one.
speak properly today. Blah.
All right, next one.
Oh, flat out.
Bro, these are good.
Oh,
Girls are savage, bro.
good. Oh my god! All right. When he's shopping with his mum for new shoes, and she makes him walk down the aisle to see how they fit.
Bro, surely you're not doing that after like 12 years old. You tie the laces up and start running, doing laps.
I don't know. I think you can still do that in like an alpha way.
No.
Nah, I don't reckon.
Your
I
mum,
think you
no.
can.
Your mum's like, all right, Sonny, can you just go walk over there?
But bro, I don't get embarrassed by my mum being like that anymore.
No, I don't either. But it's the shoot. Like, why do you need your?
I don't know. I just think like for some reason, like from previous years, whenever my mum does something that would quote unquote embarrass me, I actually like it now. Like I own it. Like my mum, bro, she follows all you guys. She comments. She sends you guys 5
I love
posts a
her
day.
comments, man.
It's like, oh hi Bayley, do you know where Jamie is? Oh wonderful Nick. Oh Chris, that's marvelous. Like
I love
I
it.
don't care,
Yeah, it's
bro.
good.
Like but before I would have. So
Yeah,
for me
alright.
personally, I wouldn't mind that. And I think girls actually like seeing a man
Yeah, but
sort of like
Trying,
that.
trying on some shoes and doing some laps in the
I'm not
athletic.
saying I've never embarrassed my mum. I love my mum. I would take her anywhere in front of anyone. But trying on shoes and me doing a little catwalk, I don't know.
No, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Alright.
I feel like I'm envisioning
I'm
that
into
right
it.
now,
I'm
and
into
it's not good.
When he's outside the dance circle, jumping and trying to get in.
That's fair, bro. I wish I could. I wish
He's
I was
like-
like a
he's
freak.
And he just can't get in.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's a question. Is it better to be the guy on the outside when you know you can't dance, or would you reckon it's better to, if you know you're not good at dancing, go in the front, in the center of the circle and own it and
Nah,
act like
stay
you're the
on the
man, but you
outside, bro.
suck.
Stay
You know,
on
your
the
dance
outside.
moves are terrible, but you own it. You know, we're talking about having confidence and like
Correct.
owning the moments. Which is better?
I think personally, the easy answer is to say just kind of step out, don't get attention to yourself, just kind of stand around. But I've seen guys who cannot dance for the life of me and just do some funny shit. Like it's not a dance move. Like they'll be like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like just funny faces, and
he's
then
that
everyone's
guy.
like on the outside.
Yeah, that's
like
you, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
you're
pretty much
witnessing
me.
I've
the
seen
guy
some
right now.
guys. Yeah, this is what I do.
No, I don't do that. I do funny, but like yeah,
I know what you
dancing,
mean.
I can dance too. All right, not great.
Oh, you gonna bust out some moves or what?
But my point is, yeah, I've
Jamie
seen
looks
like
confused.
worse things, like just a funny
Yeah,
face, or
that's
like them.
interesting.
Jamie, bro, what? Jamie used to go in a mosh pit, like a dance circle, and just fall to the ground. He used to fall to the ground, and everyone would love it.
No. I'll give you guys another tip.
You used to do that though.
I'll tell you how you can own any embarrassing situation.
All right, I'm keen for this.
Fall to the ground.
Bro, you're dropping bombs today, to be fair. I like
Okay, so the way that you get out of an awkward situation or an embarrassing moment is by doing this. The embarrassment comes from the inadequacy of you not knowing what to do in a certain situation, right? So the way that you do it is to make it look intentional that you've done that thing. But instead of always having to laugh it off and be like, ha ha ha, that was intentional, like the watch thing at the restaurant, bro, the amount of times where I've done something embarrassing and instead of like, oh no, did that just happen? And looking like I'm embarrassed, I'll just keep a straight face and act like nothing's happened.
you just own it.
Bro, it works every time because no matter what happens, if I just do something embarrassing accidentally and I just pretend like nothing happened.
All right, so another one is when he says the joke just a little bit louder because no one laughed, and he thought they just didn't hear him, but everyone heard him.
Oh, when you say something and no one like reacts to what you said. Or if you ask a question and like everyone's like, anyway, or they just ignore
What? And
you.
you're trying to be funny?
Either you try and be funny, but like they just don't hear you.
That's brutal.
So
How do you can't avoid
I
that
feel
sometimes.
personally targeted for this because I've started using this. Him running with a backpack on. Because I wear a backpack now for work because it's just convenient.
Yeah.
And my missus pays me. She's like,
What about-
backpack?
What about running for the bus with your backpack? I think it's funny when you got the straps real tight and it's bouncing up and down.
and you miss the bus.
Bro, that's the ultimate combo.
I've seen that.
Ultimate cock combo.
I've seen a guy with a backpack running towards the bus, and he's running, and he gets to the front, and he takes off, and he just slowly just brings his hand down. So an ick for a guy is him saying "woo" on a roller coaster.
Wait, so what are you supposed to do? Just what? Are you supposed to just sit there like?
Just be staunch, apparently. Just be
I
staunch.
don't know.
What are you supposed to say? Yeah.
Maybe not woo, but maybe like yay. What about yay?
Nah, that's worse.
That's
Oh
even
my
worse.
god! Whoa! I don't know.
You gotta be not phased, eh? What
All right.
else? What else?
And
you got?
another one, last one. Them putting on water shoes to wear around the water park.
Water shoes.
Yeah.
What are they?
Bro, that one's good. That
Like
one's good. That's similar
sandbags
to
on
the
your
first
feet.
one.
Like clippers.
Like, yeah.
No. Oh, wait, the diver shoes where you have like the
diver
booties.
shoes.
They're called booties and they're like the little boots. Nah, they're not.
The ground can be infectious, to be fair.
Yeah, I know, but you can't. I'd rather
You
cop
always
a
got some noble
I'd rather
answer. I
cop
love
an
it.
infection than wear those cuck shoes. They're so
All right, guys. So I guess that sums up the podcast for today. I hope you guys had a good laugh with us. We definitely had a laugh. We got a little bit deep for some of them, which is cool. We had some awesome discussions. Please, guys, leave your your questions or even your answers as to some of these questions. We'll be really keen to hear what you guys have.
I'm curious to see if we're on the right track with everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep on continuing to DM us on Instagram, guys, with any questions or topics that you
there's
want us to
some
speak
good ones.
about. But yeah, you guys can find us on every single streaming platform, video and audio, and we'll see you guys
Wrap
next week.
it up.
Thank you.
Let's
See you
go.
later.